This is word problem number 4 on 6.11. Okay, so 4 says find the number of miles. So we're missing miles. I'm going to put that over to the side because I know that's going to be my x, right? If it's missing, it's x. So we'll just call it x. Instead of putting question mark, let me put x. Could put in for miles if I wanted to. In the width of a state, if the distance is 1 1/4 inches on the map, so we have 1 1/4 inches on the map, and the scale used, they're going to give me the scale. The scale used is 1 inch equals 300 miles. What am I going to do with that scale here so I can solve this problem? How have I been solving all of them? Yeah, proportions, right? A fraction equal a fraction. So let me set that up. There's going to be a fraction, and it's going to be equal to another fraction. And so I'm going to take that scale, and I'm going to do this. I always write out to the side of my proportion how I'm going to make the proportion because it's easy to forget what you put on the top and what you put on the bottom if you're struggling with the problem anyway. So I'm going to put inches on top and miles on the bottom, just because, guys, I still do this when I'm solving problems, and just because it gets confusing, okay? So if I put 1 inch on the top, it's equal to 300 miles, and now I've got 1 1/4 inch, so that's going to also go on the top because I'm putting the inches on top on both sides, and then I want to know the miles. That's going to be my x. Is that fraction set up very nicely for me to cross multiply? No. So what should I do to it? Yeah, make it improper, because you starting to see why improper fractions are better in math now, or why we use them so much more than these mixed numbers. It's hard to multiply that if I don't change it to an improper fraction. So 1 1/4, wouldn't that be 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1? That would turn into 5/4 here, wouldn't it? So let me just replace it with 5/4. And now I can cross multiply, right? 1 times x is x, right? And then I'm going to multiply 300 times this. Let me, come on, cooperate. I'm going to do 5/4. There we go. 5/4 times 300. I got a fraction. Doesn't it make sense to go ahead and turn 300 into a fraction? Because it just helps our brains, I think, when we see it that way. Our brain goes, oh, I know what to do now. What can I do when I have something that looks like that?
1,500.
Yeah, I could put 1,500 over 4, and you got a calculator so you could divide it out, right? Another thing you could do is if you know 4 goes into 100 how many times?
4 goes into 300.
Yeah, because 4 goes into 100 25 times, and there's 3 of those 25, so it would be 75. You could reduce first, or you could just put it straight in your calculator. That's the good thing about a calculator. You really don't have to reduce fractions too much, on your, well, you still, I guess you kind of have to in the end. 3, let's see. Yeah, you're right, 375. So it's 375 miles.